Hi guys! Today we'll be recapping a story called Princess Sveta's Political Marriage. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot. Enjoy! Princess Sveta descends the grand staircase after Ryu finishes preparing her. As she walks towards the prince of the Tory kingdom, whispers follow her. Some call her beautiful, but weak, emotionless, like a doll. Others describe her as dull and obedient, and her messy appearance only fuels the gossip. They pity the prince for marrying her, but Sveta is no stranger to these opinions. When she reaches the prince, he once again reminds her that they are now married. Weeks earlier, in the Valkyrie Empire, the Empress Dowager had reminded Sveta of an ancient prophecy. The newborn princess shall marry the heir of the Tory kingdom. Their union is said to bring peace and prosperity to both nations. The Valkyrie Empire, rich and powerful, has been protected for generations by the Dowager, whose foresight has saved the empire countless times. When Sveta was born, the Dowager had another vision, a vision that must come true. 18 years later, Sveta is prepared. She has studied politics, understood court intrigues, and learned all that she can about the alliances of the realm. Her grandmother gives her 3 missions: marry the crown prince, find the true heir to the throne, and fulfill the prophecy. Sveta accepts. She will do whatever it takes to serve her empire. Crown Prince Chris is intelligent but difficult. His younger brother, Prince Sarges, is quiet and often overlooked. Both are potential heirs to the throne. Sveta does not flinch. She thrives under pressure. Upon her arrival in the Tory kingdom, Sarges asks where his brother is. A maid replies that Chris has locked himself away again, likely with a woman. Sarges assumes that the woman is Sveta. He greets her with a cool indifference and escorts her to the lounge. He's far more composed than Sveta had expected. Later, Sarges finds Prince Chris with Lena Gerald, the Marquess's daughter. Chris tells Lena that Sveta is just a political match, while Lena, pregnant, urges him to meet Sveta before the banquet. Lena Gerald is the reason this marriage is unraveling. That evening, Sveta reflects on Sarges with Ryu. He is responsible, calm, and quietly respected. He holds qualities Sveta hadn't anticipated. With that, her plan begins to unfold. She knows this marriage holds more secrets than anyone realizes, and she's ready to uncover them. Princess Sveta finally meets Prince Chris and Lady Lena. She introduces herself as the Crown Prince's fiancé. As they speak, Sveta begins to assess the situation and consider who the true heir of the Tory kingdom might be. Prince Chris acknowledges the long journey she has made. Lady Lena, agreeing with the rumors, compliments Sveta's beauty. Chris explains that although the marriage is arranged, it's requested by Sveta's empire. He insists she must also consider the situation in his kingdom. Sveta, confused, wonders what he truly means. Chris continues, saying that it's difficult to imagine her fulfilling the role of queen, given her foreign origins and lack of strong ties to their land. Instead, he plans to make Lady Lena, the daughter of a native marquise, queen. Sveta is taken aback. She asks if he intends to annul their engagement, but Chris refuses, stating he has already accepted the arrangement and will keep her as the second crown princess. Prince Sarges is visibly shocked by this. Chris tries to reassure Sveta that her position will remain royal, and there's no cause for concern. But Sveta quietly believes that only Sarges understands the true meaning behind this marriage. Considering speaking to the king and queen to hear their views, Sveta is interrupted when Lena insists that it is unnecessary. The queen, she claims, already supports Lena as the future queen. Sveta realizes the queen has already chosen her side. She thanks them for their time, expressing hope to see them at the banquet. In her room, as Ryu helps her prepare, Sveta reflects on the situation. She is now certain that Sarges is the key figure. Her interest in Chris fades. To her, a man who drowns in romance and neglects duty is unfit to be her husband. At the banquet, Sveta greets King Alfonso and Queen Amanda with grace. The queen views her as a burden, but the king welcomes her and asks for her support. Prince Chris and Lady Lena arrive late. They discuss matters of wheat production, while the queen praises the marquise's family. Sveta sees the favoritism and exclusion clearly. When Prince Sarges joins, he praises black bread from Sveta's empire, defending cultural differences against the queen's disdain. Throughout the evening, Sarges quietly shields her from every insult. By night's end, Sveta is certain The true heir is Prince Sarges. She turns to Ryu for advice, and he suggests the garden where the clematis bloom. With that, her plan begins to take shape. Prince Sarges reflects. He thinks his brother Chris has changed. Chris used to be strict, but cheerful and kind at heart. In recent years, however, he's become entangled in the power struggle. Ever since he fell for Lena, his attitude has only worsened. Sarges worries about what will happen if the Imperial Princess is not made the official consort. He believes Prince Chris doesn't understand the gravity of the situation. He thinks the princess is always calm and composed in front of others, never showing emotion. He feels guilty, assuming she was treated unfairly at the banquet and may be crying in her room. But then he overhears a conversation between Ryu and Princess Sveta. He hears her calling the crown prince a nuisance. Ryu agrees. Sveta complains about not being welcomed properly and having no room prepared. She mocks how Chris casts aside an imperial princess just to elevate the daughter of a marquise. She laughs, finding the situation more amusing than upsetting. To her, it's light entertainment after a tiring journey. While hiding, Prince Sarges is in disbelief. He wonders if this is truly the same princess. Sveta continues, saying the king holds no real authority and only seeks to preserve a fragile peace. She adds that the queen is cold and undeserving of respect. She also brings up the crown prince's supposed irrigation project, claiming someone else must be handling it in his place due to his incompetence. Sarges finally approaches them. He asks the princess if this is her real self. She replies that playing the role of a weak imperial princess is simply more useful for now. Sarges is confused and disappointed. He once respected her. Now he realizes it's all an act. The princess then asks what he plans to do. He says he won't tell Chris because at the core, everything she said is true. As suspected, Sarges handles most government affairs. Sveta asks if he's content staying in Chris's shadow forever. Sarges replies that it's only natural for a second prince to support the heir. She presses further. Does he not desire to replace his brother? He firmly says no. She thinks his answer sounds confident, but Sarges insists it's because he's a pacifist. Sveta questions whether it doesn't worry him to see the nation's future left in Chris's hands. She points out that the heir doesn't have to be his brother. Sarges is stunned. The princess declares she doesn't have to marry Prince Chris. She came to marry the crown prince. She reaches out her hand. She has made her decision. She will marry Sarges and make him crown prince. Prince Sarges is stunned. Everything he hears is new, and none of it makes sense. Sveta tells him he should understand. After all, he always thinks of the kingdom first. Sveta clarifies. His older brother is not fit to rule. Sarges warns her that such words could be considered treason. He quickly explains that he will never take the throne. Sveta smiles, asking if he would at least consider marrying her. He politely declines. Sarges apologizes for the crown prince's behavior and assures her he will do everything in his power to help her become queen. However, he pleads with her not to destabilize the monarchy or disrupt the government. If she acts recklessly despite knowing the risks, he warns that he will become her enemy. Sveta finds this more interesting. It wouldn't be any fun if he gave in too easily. She concludes that Sarges doesn't truly dislike the idea of marrying her. The prince is caught off guard, clarifying that he didn't mean it that way. Sveta reassures him that she is genuinely concerned for the kingdom's future. As the more realistic choice, she believes Sarges is better suited to be crown prince. But Sarges insists he's a pacifist. He prefers handling documents, creating policies, and overseeing administration. He's not meant to lead from the front. Sveta disagrees. She believes he's more capable than he admits. Sarges brushes it off, saying she's overestimating him. He suggests she return to her room and rest. Sveta appreciates his concern, but reminds him she will never marry a fool. Later, as Sveta rests in her room, Ryu comments on her determination to make the second prince king, even after being rejected. Sveta recalls the final part of her grandmother's prophecy: support the heir. If he proves unfit, take control. If he turns out a fool, make him an instrument of the empire. Ryu frowns. Though Sarges is better than his brother, he's too weak-willed. Sveta notes that neither prince has proven capable. If that's the case, she'll make them both tools for the empire. With this in mind, Sveta plans to meet the king the next day, a man burdened by guilt over the second queen. It's time to test her acting skills. When Sveta enters the audience chamber, the king delays her, staring at a photo of Clara, a woman in a gown. Sveta enters, her appearance mirroring that of the woman in the photo. If a woman who embodies your greatest longing suddenly appeared, could you turn her away? As Sveta prepares to meet the king, Ryu worries her dress looks too plain. But for Sveta, the simplicity is intentional. It's part of the plan. The plainness will become her weapon. Upon meeting the king, he asks if there's anything Sveta wants. She replies that she has been informed that she will become the second crown princess to crown prince. Her goal is to appear weak and powerless in his eyes. She reminds the king that this was a political marriage from the beginning, so she doesn't care what position she holds. She tells him she spoke to her emperor last night through a communication device. If she cannot become the heir's queen, her empire will ask for her return. Through the Continental Council, they will seek compensation. The king's face stiffens. Sveta brings up how the Continental Council intervenes in diplomatic conflicts and lawsuits between nations. She warns that a formal complaint would bring more trouble than the queen and Lena ever could. But she assures the king that she is here to save him. All she asks is for a chance. The king, confused, wonders why she would still want to try. Sveta says the crown prince rejected her for being lacking. She hopes the king will pity her and grant her a chance to be recognized as a true queen. This had been her plan all along, to appear delicate, stir protective instincts, and play the role of the innocent Clara. Eventually, the king agrees. He grants her another opportunity. Sveta thanks him sweetly, but as she smiles, a flicker of emotion appears on the king's face. It reminds him of someone. Sveta suspects he still remembers the woman he once loved, Sarges' mother. When asked, the king brushes it off and promises to inform the palace to treat Sveta as the crown princess. After leaving, Sveta walks to the garden, where Ryu praises her performance. Sveta admits she's not good with the king's type. He drained her energy. She confirms that the king still holds feeling for Sarges' mother. With a slight change to her eye color and a nudge to the queen's fury, things could get interesting. Sarges arrives and asks if she's been stalling. Sveta smiles, saying it's simply a quiet place for secret talks. They tease, but the moment turns serious. Sarges warns her if she crosses the line, he won't show mercy. Sveta replies she's just giving him time to think. As she walks away with Ryu, Sveta says the seeds have been sown. Now it gets interesting. Prince Sarges sits with Lady Marianne, a potential fiancé, over tea. She calls him Lord Sarges, which surprises him. He asks if she truly addressed him that way, his troubled expression making her uneasy. Sarges assures her that he's only preoccupied with administrative matters. Marianne gently takes his hand, her eyes filled with concern. She promises to always support him and insists that she wants to heal him. But Sarges finds the sweetness uncomfortable. Despite this, he cannot dismiss her. As royalty, he must remain respectful, especially since Marianne's a distant relative of the queen. Suddenly, Sveta's bold declaration to marry him still crosses his mind. Marianne asks if he's thinking about Sveta, the second crown princess from the empire. But there is no second anymore. The king has officially recognized Sveta as the only crown princess. Marianne mentions she has heard that Lena will become the official wife. She also shares rumors about Sveta, that she is frail and emotionless like a doll. Sarges nods, but recalls Sveta's claim that her weakness is an act. Her motives, unclear, intrigue him. Marianne, clearly supporting Lena and her marriage to the crown prince, insists it's all political. Sarges knows royal marriages are never about love. Chris and Lena's wedding is already in the works. Marianne, however, seems eager for her own engagement. To change the subject, Sarges offers to introduce her to other noblemen in the capital, but Marianne insists that's not what she wants. She's only interested in him. After she leaves, Sarges remains troubled, not just by the fiancé matter, but also by the escalating tensions with Treya, a neighboring country. Years ago, a diamond mine was discovered near their shared border. Treya claimed it, but Tory refused to acknowledge the claim. Now, both armies face each other, and Sarges knows that war must be avoided at all costs. He suspects Sveta knows more about the situation, but the thought of relying on her troubles him. He decides to handle it himself, ordering a trusted duke to investigate. Both the crown prince and queen seem unusually invested in the mine. Meanwhile, the king formally announces Sveta as the crown princess. The queen suspects Sveta threatened legal action or cried. Now, it's impossible to make Lena the official wife. Furious, Lena watches their plans unravel. She quickly devises a new plan, makes Sveta step down herself, humiliating the princess in front of the kingdom's elite. If this fails, the throne will remain out of their grasp. Ryu informs the princess of a message from the queen. Madame Camilla tells Sveta that the queen wishes to personally educate her. Sveta is pleased and agrees to attend right away. Upon arrival, Sveta finds Lady Lena already there. She also notices two well-dressed men who appear to be administrators. Sveta greets the queen and thanks her politely. The queen invites her to sit and Lena chimes in, saying she too received lessons from the queen and that they'll be learning together. Sveta suspects Lena wants to gain an advantage, but she responds calmly, saying it's reassuring to learn with her. The queen begins the lesson by showing them a map of the Tory kingdom. She explains that 2 years ago, a massive flood devastated the region, leaving many residents at the foot of the mountain homeless. The queen asks for their thoughts on possible countermeasures. Sveta is puzzled. She hasn't heard about any flood before. Lena confidently raises her hand and explains that her family, the House of Marquise, supported the victims and helped pass a law requiring 2-story homes with evacuation boats stored on the first floor. According to her, the measures are already in place. The queen praises Lena's dedication. Sveta speaks next. She admits she's unfamiliar with the situation, but raises a suggestion: building a dam. The queen and the administrators are confused, unfamiliar with the term. Sveta grabs paper and sketches a reservoir system. She explains that heavy rains send water rushing down mountains, submerging towns below. A dam built halfway up the mountain could block the floodwaters before they reach the city. She admits it's a large-scale project, but one that could save more time and lives than rebuilding house by house. The administrators are impressed and say it could minimize future damage. Sveta humbly adds that similar projects have been done in the Empire, so the idea isn't fully hers. Seb Gerald, Lena's brother, interrupts. He insists Sveta hasn't proven anything and praises Lena's boat idea. Sveta apologizes to Lena, explaining her suggestion came from experience in the Empire. The queen ends the lesson. She praises Lena and encourages Sveta to continue studying Tory's politics. Sveta promises to make an effort. Later, Lena asks her brother if he has another plan. He warns her to be careful. Sveta isn't what she seems. He advises Lena to step up and focus on her strengths. Lena smiles, determined. She quietly decides to take things up a notch and prepare something special for next time. Sveta studies a map. Just as she thought, the mountain range between the kingdom of Tory and the nation of Treya remains uninvestigated. Yet it holds a hidden treasure that could change everything. Ryu interrupts. There's a letter. It's from Lena, inviting Sveta to a tea party tomorrow. Though it's unreasonable not to send the invite a week in advance, Sveta sees it as no obstacle. The tea party is held in the queen's greenhouse. The young ladies compliment Lena, saying only someone favored by the queen could host such an event there. They admire the perfect table setting, matched exactly to the dress code. It's Lena's plan all along. In Tory, the dress code is hidden in the color of the envelope, something a foreign princess like Sveta wouldn't know. Lena expects her to show up inappropriately dressed and humiliate herself. Lena receives praise for her stunning dress, and the ladies believe none can match her. Until Sveta arrives. Dressed in lavender with pink diamonds, she greets everyone gracefully. Sveta compliments Lena and the ladies for their matching pink dresses, saying they look like a blooming bouquet. While Lena smiles on the outside, she seethes internally. Sveta's appearance outshines them all. It's as if Lena and the others have become background characters. Lena still welcomes Sveta and seats her at the lower table. She tells the others to be kind, since Sveta has no friends in Tory. The meaning is clear. The foreign princess isn't fit to be empress. Sveta accepts the seat without protest. The young ladies praise Lena for her kindness and say she has the grace of a future queen. Lena secretly celebrates, thinking no one is paying attention to Sveta. Lena serves flower tea. Proper etiquette requires discarding the petals on the ground once they bloom. She expects Sveta to fail, but Sveta lifts the petals onto a paper napkin, explaining it's called a momigami. She says the flower is beautiful, and pressing it will help them remember today's gathering. The ladies are impressed and follow her lead. Trying to win back the moment, Lena speaks to Marina in her dialect. Sveta thanks her and responds calmly. Then, Sveta surprises everyone by speaking in Tory's ancient language. The ladies are stunned. Few in their kingdom even understand it. Sveta offers to exchange lessons, the dialect for the ancient language. Later, she bids farewell, telling Marina in her dialect that she hopes to meet again. After she leaves, the ladies whisper in awe about her. Lena interrupts, warning that no praise for Sveta will be spread. She promises rewards once she becomes queen. They pledge loyalty. That evening, Sveta receives a threatening letter. Carlos Gerald has arrived. In the Gerald estate, a tense discussion unfolds about Lena's failure to destroy Princess Sveta's reputation. Lena's brother warns their father that Sveta is far from the weak girl the rumors describe. She's clever, sharp, and dangerous. Carlos Gerald, head of the Gerald Marquisate, remains confident that Princess Sveta will soon feel pressured, and with that, she'll retreat to her hometown. But Lena's brother wisely suggests preparing a backup plan in case she resists. They are truly into wiping her out of the kingdom. Meanwhile, in her elegant chambers, Princess Sveta calmly anticipates the Marquise's visit, already deciding which tea to offer him, knowing his true aim is to keep her under control. When the Marquise arrives, her maidservant greets him politely and leads him inside. Princess Sveta welcomes him with a beauty so striking it momentarily catches him off guard, just as the rumors say. Their conversation begins with the Marquise making a subtle insult about her delicate skin, hinting that she is too frail to bear an heir. But Sveta meets his jab with a warm smile and a sharp tongue, quietly revealing the scandal of Lena's secret pregnancy. That's our smart princess! Trying to regain control, the Marquise warns her that only women born within the kingdom should become empress, threatening her with the judgment and rejection of the people if she dares claim the throne. But Sveta only laughs sweetly and thanks him for his concern, cleverly twisting his threats into praise for his loyalty to her as the future queen. Frustrated and unable to find a single weakness, the Marquis storms out with anger clouding his face, climbing into his carriage and ordering his men to put Seb's contingency plan into action, determined to bring Sveta down. One down? The Marquis leaves Princess Sveta's chambers frustrated, unable to shake her calm confidence. Remembering Seb's cruel plan, he knows that if persuasion fails, they will resort to something darker. They are becoming inhumane now. He recalls, as Seb suggests, launching a night raid on Sveta's chambers to disgrace her and force her to leave in shame, a tactic so vile that even the Marquise hesitates, but sees no other option if words fail. That evening, as Sveta and her maid Louis walk back to her chambers, Sveta notices that something is off. Lord Ralph and Lord Lauren, the guards stationed outside her bedroom, seem distracted and disrespectful, far too relaxed in their duties. Trusting her instincts, Princess Sveta quietly tells Louis to sleep in her room tonight, whispering that a secret plan might unfold before dawn. Whew, our girl is truly observant! In the middle of the night, 3 men in black silently slip into Princess Sveta's bedroom, ready to disgrace her and their sharp weapons gleaming in the moonlight. Princess Sveta, already awake and alert, lets out a scream, calling for Lord Ralph and Lord Lauren, testing their loyalty. As she suspected, the guards never came, confirming her doubts. The men in black reveal their weapons, but before they can act, Louis sits up on the bed and reveals her true nature. She is one of the rare magic users, making up only 0.001% of the world's population. In a flash, Louis uses her spells, swiftly overpowering all 3 attackers in a fierce but silent battle. They are always prepared! After the fight, Princess Sveta gently reminds Louis that her transformation spell is fading. With a sigh, Louis turns back into a man for a brief moment before recasting the spell and becoming Sveta's gentle maid once again. As Louis prepares to remove the intruders' bodies, Sveta stops her, saying they should wait for the knights to witness this. News of the attack quickly reaches Prince Sarges, who races through the halls in fear, knowing this could spark an international incident with the Valkyrie Empire. He bursts into Sveta's chambers, only to find her calmly sipping tea, while Louis's magic lifts one of the unconscious attackers into the air, proof of the knight's betrayal. Well, that is unexpected. A woman who is calm while he's feeling the total opposite. Prince Sarges stands stunned, seeing Princess Sveta safe and calm despite the attack. His eyes shift to Louis, realizing that the quiet maid is actually a mage. As he surveys the room, something feels wrong. There is no way intruders could have entered while Lord Ralph and Lord Lauren were guarding her chamber. He kneels before Sveta, asking softly about her well-being, his voice filled with concern. Then his gaze hardens, turning to the knights with cold eyes, their failure clear as day. Without delay, Prince Sarges declares that Lord Ralph and Lord Lauren will be flogged all night for their carelessness, and the captured intruders will be locked in the dungeon where they will face questioning. Oh, how fast he can change from being concerned to being seriously cruel! Princess Sveta laughs softly and jokes how the prince can change faces so fast. From a worried gentleman to a strict ruler in seconds. Prince Sarges replies seriously that he has no time for jokes. He was truly worried about her safety, even if she was unharmed. His words carry a rare sincerity, and he lowers his head slightly in apology for what happened to her. For Princess Sveta, it is rare and unfamiliar to witness someone show true concern for her well-being. The unusual kindness touches her in a way she's not felt before. Louis, standing quietly beside her, observes the situation with a faint smile, but stays ready in case another threat appears. Aw, I smell someone will fall in love. After all, it starts with teasing. After a brief pause, the atmosphere grows serious once again. Sveta instructs Prince Sarges to keep Louis' identity as a mage secret, knowing that it could be used against them. Prince Sarges suggests placing more guards around her, thinking it will strengthen her safety. Princess Sveta rejects the idea, explaining that more people mean more risk, and reminds him that Lord Ralph and Lord Lauren were already bought by the Marquise. She tells him to check their chambers, where he will likely find gems from the black market, proof of their betrayal. He should give up with the thought of being affectionately understanding to the crown prince, knowing his leadership can lead to failure in their kingdom. Prince Sarges accepts the harsh truth, aware of how rotten those around him have become. The queen despises him, the king ignores him, and his brother, once his strongest support, has grown distant over the years. In the end, trust forms quietly between them, and Sveta feels relief knowing that someone finally stands beside her without hidden motives. The 3 commoner men who attacked Princess Sveta that night were found dead in the underground prison. A vial of poison was discovered beside them. The guards rule it as a suicide. The private rooms of Lord Ralph and Lord Lauren were also searched, but most of the furniture had been disposed of. No evidence of bribery was found. Marquis Gerald is fast at covering his tracks. Duke Levin reported that Gerald's private army had gathered in the Carlisle frontier, near the border with Treya. Meanwhile, the Marquis of the Frontier is recruiting mercenaries from neighboring countries, increasing their military strength as the Crown Prince Claris supports them financially. Prince Sarges was stunned knowing this and wants to stop the matter no matter what. Meanwhile, the Crown Prince and his other colleagues play cards as they laugh around the room when Prince Sarges wants to clear the room with just between them. Prince Sarges then confronts his brother if he is planning a war against the Treya kingdom. The Crown Prince said that the diamond mine will yield enormous profit if they conquer the other kingdom. Both the Crown Prince and Prince Sarges end up into a heated argument, ending up with how the Crown Prince belittles Prince Sarges. Prince Sarges heads to the training ground to combat with his seasoned knight to release his frustration. They were fighting on equal footing in a swordplay. Sveta is sitting on a staircase with Louis, observing Prince Sarges' impressive fighting skill. Later on, after the one-on-one combat with his seasoned knight, he approached Princess Sveta while she teased him together with Louis. He blushes at her teasing and is dismissive about it as he apologizes that he didn't uncover the mastermind behind the attack. Princess Sveta already expects that their enemy acted far too quickly. He suggests that she go back to her own kingdom, with worry written in his anger tone about her jokes. He is worried he might not be able to protect her. Prince Sarges walks away as Sveta has made up her mind. She will make sure that Duke Levin will be on the side of Prince Sarges as she asks Louis to send a letter to the Duke about supporting Prince Sarges. In an assembly, neither Crown Prince Claris nor Marquis Gerald attended. Instead, Gerald's heir Seb was present. Duke Levin is worried how Gerald focuses only on their gains, placing Prince Sarges in a difficult position, and he overthinks about Princess Sveta's capabilities when the rumors are all negative about her. A maid approached Duke Levin to meet with the princess as the maid led the way. The maid then revealed that the maid is Princess Sveta herself as they have a conversation about her wanting to marry Prince Sarges. She is serious that she will do anything to help the kingdom as long as the Duke will help her make Prince Sarges as the Crown Prince. They both know the current Crown Prince Claris is incapable of leading the kingdom in good hands, but Prince Sarges can. Duke Levin knows that Sveta is testing his loyalty. Louis then returns from shopping, bribing the guards earlier so that Sveta and Duke Levin will have a private conversation alone without anyone eavesdropping. Louis reported there were many assassins and thugs as Louis did not hesitate to just finish them. Everything is going according to what they have planned. Meanwhile, Duke Levin talks about his worries with his wife. The Duchess encourages her husband that he's doing this for the king because they have been led astray. And with his wife's words, he then tells his men to send a messenger to Marquis Carlisle. Sveta then told Louis to prepare the finest dresses and jewels available for their guests tomorrow. Louis is excited about the princess showing her true colors. Sveta acknowledges Duke Levin's swift, decisive actions that settled the matter in 2 days. But for now, she relishes the opportunity to solve this country's foremost problem once and for all, as her supposed guests arrive. One of which is Marquis Somerset Carlyle, who seems quite surprised at Duke Levin's letter to meet someone. He takes this as desperation from him, but he figures having a favor to hold over the Levin family isn't all too bad. But when Marquis Carlyle meets their host and gets introduced to Sveta, he is no less blinded by her beauty. Little did he know something lurks underneath all that. At first, he notes how the princess, who apologized for not having her maids offer tea as they've been dismissed, isn't like how Claris and Marquis Gerald had described her. Marquis Carlyle asked what this meeting might be about, but Sveta is already cutting to the chase, revealing she knows of the Marquis gathering mercenaries, organizing troops to expand his military force. The Marquis is taken aback, but argues why the princess is interested in military matters usually reserved for men. So Sveta makes her stand clear. Amassing militarized men in the borderlands for a Marquis, especially during peacetime, is no less an overstep in one's own capabilities. She also correctly deduces the Marquis is preparing for war against the Treya Kingdom, and also of him being offered 10% of the diamond mines of which the war will be fought over for. Though horrified at her knowledge of the deal, Marquis Carlyle eventually composes himself, arguing a foreign princess is powerless to intervene in their plans anyway. However, Sveta reveals the Treya Kingdom's secret military pact with the Valkyrie Empire. If the former is attacked by a foreign force, the latter will send its magic navy as assistance, ensuring the Marquis's defeat. It dawns on the Marquis how much they've underestimated the Treya Kingdom. And what's more, there's no diamond mine, no matter the profit it offers, that is worth the sacrifice it'll take to win it if it means total war in the Tory Kingdom. However, Sveta makes it clear that informing them of this secret pact is no threat. Rather, she'd like to introduce a proposal. The men's expression lets Sveta know she's got them hooked. Sveta reveals her previous background on energy ore research, and she's figured out massive energy ore reserves within the mountains along the border. The Marquis and the Duke are shocked, as such an ore is extremely valuable to the kingdom, but has no mines of it on its own. They outsource energy ores from Sazark. Energy ores, if in the highest quality, far exceeds the value of diamonds. When Marquis Carlyle expresses doubts on the report, Sveta shows him a sample ore, and it is indeed of the highest quality. So Sveta lays out her plan. She wants to propose a treaty with Treya that underlines whoever discovers and mines natural resources will have the rights. They'll be happy as it secures their diamond mining rights, but will unknowingly give up their rights to the energy ores. Now, Marquis Carlyle realizes how great of a crown princess they've acquired. Princess Sveta continues on, saying that the Marquis and the Duke will receive 3% annual profit share in exchange for leading the operation. And she proves to have thought of everything when she introduces a planned economic boom that will bolster Marquis Carlyle's earnings when he asks why the profit share is so low. Now, Marquis Carlyle can't help but question why Sveta has planned all this, so he asks whether she plans to take Lena's place as crown princess. But Sveta reveals that it's Prince Sarges she plans to wed, and that she plans to be queen. Even the Marquis is surprised by the gravity of her scheme to take down even Gerald's entire faction. However, she reveals Prince Sarges is a hard one to convince with regards to their plan, so she asks her guests to wait until she's done so. That night, while Princess Sveta's relaxing on the balcony with some tea, she shared how her negotiations had gone well with her maid. All that's left is to convince Prince Sarges. And it looks like she has a very good idea on how to do so, as she hints that the prince will be her husband by name and in reality too. In the morning, Prince Sarges approaches the Crown Prince's study, preparing to knock, when he overhears a private conversation inside. The voices of the Crown Prince and Lady Lena fill the room, speaking of their plan to remove Princess Sveta from their path. Lena, pregnant and bitter, complains that Sveta is too stubborn in her ambition to become queen. They really are displaying their thoughts and affection publicly, huh? Prince Sarges quietly sighs, disgusted by how outrageous and heartless their schemes have become. He knows that Marquis Gerald is equally serious about eliminating Princess Sveta. Even if Prince Sarges tries to assign a knight to guard her, his brother and the queen will find some excuse to reject it. The king remains cold and indifferent, leaving Prince Sarges powerless in protecting Sveta openly. In the end, the entire investigation into the recent attack is controlled by the Crown Prince and Marquis Gerald, ensuring that no truth will be uncovered. Prince Sarges feels isolated, painfully aware that he has no true backing in the royal court. Protecting Sveta from their political schemes seems almost impossible. He really thinks about her safety so well. Later that day, Prince Sarges meets Princess Sveta in the palace hallway, where Louis struggles to carry a tall stack of books they borrowed from the library. Princess Sveta, smiling sweetly, casually suggests that he lend a hand. Without hesitation, Prince Sarges takes the books from Louis, helping them with quiet kindness. Oh boy, you have fallen into her trap! To the world, Princess Sveta looks like a sweet and hardworking princess, but beneath that smile, only she knows what secrets she hides. After returning to her chambers, Sveta invites Prince Sarges for tea, pouring it with her usual gentle smile, though only she knows what truly lies within the cup. As they sit and drink, their conversation flows naturally. Sveta teases Prince Sarges about his feelings again, making him flustered and defensive, his words stumbling in protest. But before he can respond further, a sudden wave of sleep overtakes him and his body grows heavy as the world fades to black. And there he goes! Prince Sarges has fallen completely to her plans! The next morning, Prince Sarges wakes to find himself in Princess Sveta's bed, completely unclothed. Beside him, Princess Sveta rests peacefully, a faint smile on her lips as if everything went according to her plan. Shock and confusion strike him, but deep down, he realizes that Princess Sveta has drawn him into something he can no longer escape. Maybe he will take responsibility? Prince Sarges realizes he has fallen perfectly into Princess Sveta's trap. Rumors of their passionate night spread throughout the palace, though the truth is far less scandalous. The blood-stained sheets, which everyone assumes prove Princess Sveta's lost innocence, are only from small cuts on Prince Sarges' fingers. She's smart. Calmly, Sveta reminds him to prepare himself as they will report everything to the king, ensuring no one stands in the way of their marriage. Looking at her, he can't deny how dazzling and brilliant she appears, even in such bold deception. Oh, you're gonna fall in love no matter how you deny it. Later that day, both are summoned to the king's private chambers. Princess Sveta remains calm, showing no hesitation, as though already prepared for any opposition from the king. The king, exhausted from the endless troubles of the kingdom, now faces another dilemma. Prince Sarges has supposedly stolen the woman meant to be the crown prince's future queen. In a surprising turn, Princess Sveta puts on a pitiful act, her expression gentle and helpless as she claims to have given her heart to the man she truly loves. She speaks softly, painting herself as a simple woman who desires nothing more than to reign beside Prince Sarges in love. Prince Sarges watches her performance, recognizing how flawless it is, worthy of the grandest stage. Despite himself, a faint blush creeps onto his face. Aw, is he not cute? He is a perfect match for Princess Sveta! To seal her words, Sveta presents documents bearing the seal of her kingdom and the church, both already approving her marriage to Prince Sarges. With no room left for argument, the king finally gives his consent for their union. After all, she planned it all along. News of their engagement reaches the crown prince, who storms into Prince Sarges' chambers, shouting in fury. Yet Prince Sarges stands firm, declaring his intention to marry Princess Sveta without hesitation. The queen, seeing this, worries that Prince Sarges will rebel against the crown prince in the future. To calm her fears, Prince Sarges assures them of his loyalty and service to his brother, hiding his true feelings. Meanwhile, at the Geralds' estate, Lena informs her father of the king's approval of the marriage. Their frustration grows, knowing it will be harder to do all their crimes now, especially bribing the guards since Princess Sveta will be officially together with Prince Sarges. They quickly decide to arrange a joint wedding, planning to use it as an opportunity for their next move. They really have evil motives, and the way they make another plan to resolve an issue is also fast and unexpected. Princess Sveta steps into the room and greets Prince Sarges warmly while he continues working on the final details of their engagement ceremony. He blushes slightly, admitting that he has been receiving an unusual amount of work lately. She smiles and compliments him, handing him a gem for his tie that matches the color of her eyes, while she wears a necklace matching his. Prince Sarges hesitates, feeling shy about accepting such a gift from her. However, her teasing yet affectionate words leave him unable to refuse, and he quietly accepts it. Her playful kindness makes his heart beat faster, leaving him more flustered than he wants to show. They walk together into the grand hall where they are formally introduced to the guests. The announcer proudly declares them as Prince Sarges von Tory, the second prince of the Kingdom of Tory, and his esteemed fiancée, Her Highness Sveta de Valkyrie. Their grand entrance leaves the crowd silent for a moment before voices begin to murmur with awe and curiosity. Some people speak positively about how beautiful Princess Sveta looks and how charming they seem together. Others gossip bitterly, saying that Prince Sarges stole Princess Sveta from the Crown Prince, creating a quiet wave of scandal. Prince Sarges feels uneasy, wishing to protect Sveta from these cruel rumors, but she remains completely unbothered. With growing confidence, Prince Sarges proudly introduces Sveta to the other nobles. She teases him, pretending to swoon over his grand introduction, claiming that she has fallen head over heels for him. He blushes deeply and tries to dismiss her flattery, knowing she's only playing with him. Are you playing hard to get, Prince Sarges? Suddenly, the Earl of Cruz approaches with a calm but venomous tone, aiming to shame them in front of the nobles. His words are sharp, and the people listen closely, as though waiting to take his side. Prince Sarges prepares to defend Sveta, his frustration quietly building. But before he can speak, Princess Sveta steps forward with a confident smile and steady voice. She calmly counters the Earl, questioning how someone of his rank dares to speak so boldly to his superiors. Her words cut deep, attacking both his personal pride and professional reputation, leaving him shaken. No one belittles them. Realizing the danger of stirring further rumors, the Earl of Cruz quickly backs down and leaves the hall. As expected, the Gerald family soon arrives, but they bring unexpected news. To everyone's shock, it is announced that a joint wedding will take place with the Crown Prince Claris and his fiancée, Lady Lena Gerald. Prince Sarges finally understands why he's been overloaded with work lately. It was a distraction from the joint wedding plan. While he feels frustrated, Princess Sveta finds the situation amusing and challenging. Her interest sharpens as she watches Crown Prince Claris and Lady Lena Gerald step forward, ready to join the game. The Crown Prince and Lady Lena approach them to talk more about the wedding. They speak happily about their plans, while Prince Sarges realizes he is the one left with all the hard work. Princess Sveta stays calm, smiling sweetly while listening to the fake cheerful talk. Lady Lena then mentions that as the future queen, it is her duty to help with the wedding plans. Princess Sveta replies with a smile, saying they should prepare well so their body shapes won't change before the wedding. She already knows their real plan is to have the ceremony before Lady Lena's pregnancy becomes obvious. So observant! The next day, Prince Sarges looks for the royal notice together with his assistant. They find the notice showing the budget for the joint wedding, and it is clear the queen had overseen everything. This wedding is just a way for her to take Princess Sveta's dowry and control the money. Prince Sarges wants to use his own wealth, but he needs to save it for the people and for the war the Crown Prince is starting. Later, he shows Princess Sveta the budget with a sorry heart. She already expects such tricks and tells him they will handle it just fine. Princess Sveta says they must also set aside funds for the holy water, as its quality depends on their offering to the church. Then she tells Prince Sarges that they should also save money for his wedding clothes. He cannot refuse because he knows Princess Sveta already has a plan for everything and that he trusts her decisions as well. She is a capable woman who is ready to fight at any time. Finally, Princess Sveta asks Louis to carry out her difficult plan for the wedding. Louis agrees happily, ready to serve her lady's wishes. With that, she leaves to start completing Princess Sveta's bold and clever tasks. Louis finally arrives in his homeland, the desert and sea kingdom of Shisha. Shisha is a small country beside the Valkyrie Empire, surrounded by golden sands and blue seas. Though it takes 10 days by carriage from the Tory kingdom, Louis reaches it quickly through teleportation magic. Returning to his true form, Louis becomes a man, but beside Princess Sveta, he always takes the form of her loyal maid. He is warmly welcomed by Hassan, and they share a happy conversation like old friends. Shisha remembers how Princess Sveta saved their nation from ruin, and Louis's loyalty comes from a deep desire to repay her kindness. Louis meets with his father to explain the help Princess Sveta now needs, but his father and the leaders of Shisha have already prepared, proving they have been quietly watching over her all along. A royal decree reads, "We have temporarily entrusted Louis with the management of the state-run lace embroidery workshop of Shisha." His father reminds him to serve Princess Sveta with all his heart and not fall short of his duty. Louis smiles and agrees, knowing he will never allow her wedding to be anything but perfect. With determination in his heart, he plans to give her the finest gifts from Shisha's skilled artisans. Ugh, to have someone to count in times of need is rare. Meanwhile, in the Tory kingdom, Princess Sveta remains hidden inside her room. False rumors spread among the servants saying she's crying and weak, unable to handle the stress of the wedding. Lady Lena enjoys these whispers, letting others believe that Princess Sveta is falling apart. Lady Lena enters Sveta's room, pretending to check on her with fake concern. But Princess Sveta sees through her act, already knowing the hidden reason for her visit. Though Lady Lena offers kind words, Sveta senses the true motives behind her smile. Lady Lena tries to comfort Sveta, but also plants seeds of doubt in her heart. She claims Prince Sarges is a careless man who pays no attention to their wedding and plays with other women. Sveta pretends to cry helplessly, acting as though she believes every word. Lady Lena hands Sveta a wedding gown, one designed to draw harsh judgment from others. She expects Sveta to wear the gown and suffer public shame for following an outdated tradition. But when Lady Lena leaves, Princess Sveta smirks quietly, already aware of her enemy's plan. No one can outsmart her! The preparations continue, and Lady Lena tries on her extravagant wedding dress. This dress is designed to capture the attention of every noble daughter and start a new fashion trend. It perfectly fits the image of a crowned princess who stands at the center of attention. In comparison, the simple robe given to Princess Sveta seems pitiful and dull. Laughter and joyful chatter spill out into the halls, where Prince Sarges overhears compliments about Lady Lena's gown. It becomes clear that most of the wedding budget has been spent on her dress alone. Even Prince Sarges finds himself caught in endless fittings, just as Princess Sveta predicted. Famous tailors visit again and again to measure, design, and adjust his attire for the wedding. He worries that sharp-eyed nobles will compare both brides' gowns and spread harsh judgments. Prince Sarges decides to visit Princess Sveta's room, only to be shocked by what he finds. He sees the robe Lady Lena gave her, a garment with a tragic story behind it. The dress once belonged to a countess who loved a knight and met a sorrowful fate. The tale tells of a countess who married a gloomy second prince but fell in love with a knight guard. Their love ended in tragedy when they were caught trying to run away, and the knight and their child were executed. Heartbroken, the countess sewed this robe, calling it her wedding dress to the knight, and ended her life wearing it. Prince Sarges cannot believe that Lady Lena dares to give this cursed robe to Princess Sveta for their joint wedding. But to his surprise, Sveta laughs and smiles, brushing off the dark story. He scolds her, saying it's no laughing matter, yet she remains calm. As Prince Sarges prepares to return the robe, Princess Sveta suggests keeping it to make the wedding more interesting. He worries about her bold ideas, but cannot stop her when she smiles so confidently. He then gives her his mother's heirloom, the first gift their father gave her. Princess Sveta is touched, amused that the king once gave such a thoughtful gift. She quietly rethinks her views on the king, realizing he truly loved Prince Sarges' mother. The gift makes her heart soften toward the royal family, even for a moment. Meanwhile, Lady Lena and the crown prince meet with the priests of the devout kingdom of Tory. The priests, as powerful as the royal family, warmly greet them while holding the right to judge even nobles. Those who give little to the church are labeled unfaithful, regardless of their rank. By cutting Princess Sveta's budget, Lady Lena wins favor with the priests through her generous donation. This move strengthens her power and leaves Princess Sveta vulnerable to harsh judgment. Now, without enough funds for holy water, Sveta and Prince Sarges face criticism for lacking devotion. In Princess Sveta's room, a priest blesses her and Louis, who suddenly appears using teleportation magic. After the priest leaves, Louis unpacks the goods he brought from Shisha, gifts prepared by the homeland's people. Among them is a special item, signaling that they are ready for their counterattack. As they uncover the special item that Princess Sveta told Louis to bring, she's amazed by its beauty. The gown is made from the rare and beautiful Shisha lace, crafted only in the National Lace-Making Workshop. Known as the Phantom Lace, its artistic quality and rarity make it a luxury only royalty can wear. This lace was once a simple tradition passed down through the Shisha people, but because of Princess Sveta's help when she was just 10 years old, the lace became famous and highly valued. In Louis's hometown, everyone worked hard to finish the gown in 2 weeks, grateful for how Princess Sveta once saved their kingdom. On the wedding day, Prince Sarges quietly worries about the holy water and the dress, both of which he left in Princess Sveta's hands. Suddenly, she appears before him, calmly wearing the cursed robe. She smiles and assures him that the robe will be perfect, pointing to the necklace he gave her as a sign of hope. Princess Sveta also gives him a royal cloak marked with the symbol of monarchs recognized by the Continental Council and the Holy Church. This mark proves his rightful place and helps protect his status. She wants him to be regarded as the future king. Later, Lady Lena enters the venue, dazzling the crowd with her beautiful gown. Every noble praises the delicate details of her dress, and the queen's tiara on her head shows her recognition as the future queen. Whispers of admiration fill the room, making her shine as the center of attention. Then, Princess Sveta walks in wearing the cursed dress, and the crowd begins to whisper with scorn. But with a snap of Louis's fingers, the cursed robe transforms into the most expensive and breathtaking gown, covered in the shining phantom lace. Instantly, the crowd's judgment turns into awe, and their harsh opinions fade away. Prince Sarges still worries about the holy water, though seeing Sveta's strength gives him peace. He promises himself to defend her if anyone dares criticize her again. Soon, the bishop from the Holy Church headquarters arrives, surprising everyone with his presence. The wedding begins, and the bishop first blesses the crown prince and Lady Lena with the golden holy water. Then, he blesses Prince Sarges and Princess Sveta with the holy water of miracles, leaving everyone speechless. In the end, Princess Sveta outsmarts the wicked couple completely. The miracle holy water isn't something that anyone can gain through money or grand donations. It's a sacred blessing given only to those who have made great contributions to the Holy Church. Only bishops and the Pope at the Holy Church headquarters have the authority to grant it, making it one of the most precious blessings in the continent. The sudden turn of events leaves the Crown Prince and Lady Lena completely speechless. Every time someone tries to bring Princess Sveta down, she finds a way to turn the tables and crush them without mercy. They all should wonder in disbelief how Princess Sveta and Prince Sarges were able to receive such rare honors. It is not just the miracle holy water or the phantom lace gown, but also the royal cloak Prince Sarges wears, which is only given to rulers of powerful nations. Suddenly, Marquise Gerald steps forward calmly and introduces their final trump card, Charles Dennis. With Charles Dennis returning to the kingdom, they prepare to carry out the next step of their hidden plan. Later that night, Prince Sarges quietly enters the bedroom, knowing it is their consummation night. Princess Sveta follows shortly after, and they begin to talk about the wedding ceremony and the thought of having a child. Prince Sarges gently shares his wish to have children, but only when love is true between them. Princess Sveta is stunned to hear such a sincere answer about something as important as producing heirs. He wonders if she thinks of him as simply naive to think that love, not duty, should come first for a prince. But instead of being exasperated, she finds herself amused by how genuine and sweet he is. In the Empire, polygamy is accepted among nobles and royals, where powerful men marry multiple wives and bear many children. Princess Sveta's own father, the Emperor of the Valkyrie Empire, has 13 consorts and countless children. Her mother was once promised to another nobleman, but the Emperor took her by force and discarded her once she was pregnant. From birth, children of the Valkyrie Empire fight fiercely for succession, and princesses are married off like pawns in a political game. Love is not something they are raised to seek, only power and duty. But hearing Prince Sarges talk about love before duty is something entirely new to her. For the first time, Princess Sveta smiles and suggests that they go on a proper date first before sharing a bed. She finds his honest heart refreshing and thinks maybe, for once, she can enjoy something just for herself. And so, their journey toward true love quietly begins. The next morning, Princess Sveta wakes up early as Louis prepares her morning tea. With a playful smile, Louis teases whether Prince Sarges has chickened out during their honeymoon night. Prince Sarges overhears the remark and, though tempted to scold Louis, decides to let it slide since Louis is Princess Sveta's trusted maidservant. Prince Sarges barely sleeps through the night, his thoughts restless as he tries to accept that such an amazing woman is now his wife. It is not just her beauty that stuns him, but everything about her presence feels enchanting. Greeting her warmly, he promises they will enjoy a special dinner together later, a moment he looks forward to. In his study, Prince Sarges speaks with his secretary, hiding his blushing face. He shares his excitement about taking Princess Sveta to Miles, his beloved hometown, for their honeymoon. The thought of showing her the place where he grew up fills him with quiet joy. Wanting a peaceful break, Prince Sarges requests a leave of absence from his older brother, the Crown Prince. To his surprise, the Crown Prince agrees without much resistance or questioning. Feeling grateful and excited, Prince Sarges is relieved their trip to Miles will finally happen. Unbeknown to him, the Crown Prince and some powerful nobles have made secret plans during his absence. The Crown Prince, Duke Dennis, Lady Lena, and Marquise Gerald see the couple's honeymoon as the perfect chance to act. They quietly arrange an emergency noble council meeting while Prince Sarges and Princess Sveta are away. Their goal is to push decisions about the brewing war with Treya without opposition. With the royal couple gone, no one will block their bold moves. The nobles believe this is their best and only chance to gain quick control over the conflict. The travel plans are set, and Prince Sarges chooses 2 knights to guard Princess Sveta. He picks Reynard Everly, the vice commander and son of Count Everly, who is a strong and quiet swordsman. Prince Sarges knows Reynard will not panic even when he sees the princess's tricky and bold nature. Aw, he really thinks about her. The second guard is Misty Lancaster, who comes from a famous family of knights. Misty is one of the best fighters, and even though she's a woman, the army respects her skills. She has a strange but lively personality, which Prince Sarges thinks will match well with the princess. Princess Sveta welcomes her guards warmly and praises their skills. She enjoys teasing Misty because her energetic and funny reactions make Sveta smile. Reynard stays calm and serious, giving a nice balance between the 2 knights. Louis, always paying attention, notices that Misty has some magic inside her, even if she's not a mage. He knows that having magic power does not mean someone is a mage, as it takes hard work and training to control magic. People are all different, and not everyone can use their powers well. Prince Sarges feels better knowing that Reynard and Misty are protecting Sveta on this journey. He trusts their loyalty and skills, giving him peace of mind. Louis packs his things and promises to do a good job for the princess before using teleportation magic to go to Miles' territory first. What could Princess Sveta have tasked Louis with now? It has been half a month since the wedding, and Prince Sarges is slowly getting used to sharing a bed with Princess Sveta. Their marriage started for political reasons, but now there are quiet, peaceful moments between them. Princess Sveta playfully talks about their honeymoon and jokes about making babies in Miles' territory. Prince Sarges blushes and says they should wait until they truly love each other before having children. He still cannot tell what Princess Sveta really feels, as she enjoys confusing him with her teasing. Deep down, he wonders if there's more to her decision. If maybe, beyond her plans, she chose him for a reason close to her heart. Oh, Prince Sarges, you two will be a cute couple. So guys, what do you think of this story so far? Please subscribe and turn on notifications for updates on this and all our other stories, so you can be the first to find out when they're out. Thank you so much for your support. See you in the next one!